my name is Jenna, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Cryptid Cryptid. And this was about in 2015 when I moved out of Hemet, and I was thinking about May's stone and the prehistoric culture that made them, stone culture. And so I started using Google Sky Maps to look around the area and see if I could find any more evidence of these people, because I know that May's stone couldn't have been the only thing they left behind. I know that there were a number of other stones that they left behind, but I just started looking around for things maybe that other people maybe had overlooked using, aerial maps. And I was finding that a lot of things were built on top of older things. Even, in people's yards and stuff, it looked like there was like stuff that they were just built on top of. Oh, and then there was another area that I started exploring, and it was very interesting. And there were just kind of like ruins there, and just suspicious things, but it had a vibe, like a military vibe, something maybe underground, going on. And it was not related to the stones and stuff anymore. So some of these areas were very hard to get to, and you needed four-wheel drive, and they were maybe off limits, as in no trespassing. And then I found a couple places that had some blocked out areas, and that interested me. And so I actually went to one of these places that had a blocked out triangle, and I was met up with this sign. And it was at that point that I decided to reevaluate my objective and my goal and, what I'm trying to do here. And so I went back to the maps. I'm not really trying to find some kind of military cover up sort of thing like that. Um, it started with Bigfoot and, giants and looking for an ancient stone culture. So I found another area near Maystone that looked like it had. I'm also interested in geology. So, and rocks and stuff. So I take interest in that. And I found an interesting area to explore. But looking back, I know now what I was looking at. I was interested in the areas around what I know now is actually a landfill. But when we were driving up to the site, it was very exciting because I started seeing all these big, huge stones that I didn't see from above at all, and they were all organized, in some way. And but then when we did get to the area, it was blocked off, and I really, really wanted to go explore in there. But it's a landfill, so no trespassing, and it was all they had a lot of area fenced off that I would have liked to have gone and exploring, because there were like little pathways and stuff, and the stones looked really interesting and unusual. And I just wanted to see, what was going on with them. They were just completely inaccessible. So I did find an area nearby that I was able to explore, and the stones were very interesting there. But also on the way back on the other side of the street, there were also huge stones all lined up and stuff. And then in the distance here you can see little stone wall that looks pretty old and just kind of like overlooked and unnoticed, except if you're, looking for that, which I was and am. And so that's zoomed in and stuff. And looking at the side of the mountain in a new, or the area and the landscape in a new way, you know, knowing that there are mound builders, it's a possibility, that there are mounds there. And there's interesting groups of large rocks and stuff that I would have liked to have gone out there and looked at up closer. But I did get some pictures zooming in and stuff, which, and like I said, some of them I was able to get up close. Now, I went to these I started out at these places going and looking for architecture, stone buildings and things like that. But right away from these places I was going, I started finding um, things that look like stone giants and body parts and stuff. And I mean, it could be, I'm not saying they're actual petrified giants necessarily. I'm saying they could have been stone statues and artwork and ancient culture. And there's like a lot of it looks like just a lot of large body parts and a lot of skulls, which, I noticed them at the time. So I did take pictures of them, but I didn't necessarily go to each one and, take pictures all around it and really do a good job photographing each one because, I was just taking it all in and just photographing as much as I could. And so that I could just sort of evaluate it all later. And it's unfortunate to see some of the graffiti that I saw on the stones. Um, that was disturbing. But there was some very strange stones in this area. And I saved the skulls for the end, but you can just see these rounded surfaces, and some of the surfaces of the stones look like very like reptilian skin, and others just I don't know, they look. I wish I would have kind of got closer and taken better pictures of some of these things, but they are very strange indeed. And like I said, I noticed them at the time, and so I took some pictures of them. But of course, I do wish I would have taken some more detailed pictures of them. But there was, also more than one. There were like several. It looked like they're buried skulls and things like that, or little heads and stuff, and just strange, strange things made out of stone, big stones. So this area is at a place that I call South Butte, and it's near Maystone, and it's near Hemet, and it's very pretty out there. And I did get also a couple photographs of a California vulture when I was out there. And I could go to the other side of the butte next.